on, Andy. 하나, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. We took a bus from Pohang to Cheonan on a Saturday afternoon that started out sunny and then became rather overcast. The bus went through Gyeongju and Sejong City and took a bit longer than I was expecting. We stopped at Gumgang Rest Area in Okcheon County near Daejeon, which turned out to be a really pretty area. If we'd been driving ourselves, we would have stayed longer and gone down to the water. As it was, we only had about 20 minutes. Korean rest areas are great. They have really nice bathrooms and lots of snack options. When we got to Cheonan, our friend Mr. Ha picked us up at the bus station and took us to dinner in Asan. Mr. Ha used to run a meat restaurant of his own and now has a place that does pufferfish. We met him 20 years before when Doug signed up for geomdo and Mr. Ha was in his class.
Well, welcome to Evening in Cheonan. It's been a bit of a voyage going from Pohang to here, but we made it here and we are meeting up again with Mr. Ha, our old friend from 20 years ago.
와우, 20년 됐는데. 네.
하 선생님 여기 있어요.
하종률 선생님, 네,
네.
우리가 원래 어떻게 만났죠?
네, 20년 전에
네.
검도하면서 만났죠. 머리!
네,
지금 아파요.
계속 아파요. 네. 20년 후에도 계속 아파요.
그래서 이게 머리! 오!
네,
Too
기억해요.
high.
맞아.
제가 아프고 뭐 빠른 머리치기 500번
오!
하는 거 너무 아팠어요. 또 하고 싶지 않아요.
네, 맞아요.
지금 하셨어요.
맞아요. 못 하겠어요.
너무
네.
즐거웠어요.
그래요.
그래서
그래서
20년 만에 만나서 너무 반가웠고요. 그죠? 반가웠어요. 20년 만에 만났어. 20년 만에 만나서
네,
너무 반가웠어요.
meeting after 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes. 너무 좋죠. 네. 신기해요.
맞아요.
네. 그래서 우리가 같이 다시 만나고 같이 식사하고 너무 좋아요.
아,
네.
정말요.
그래요. 예.
After many happy memories of our time in Cheonan.
5년에
맞아요.
한 번씩 한국으로 오세요. 5년에 한 번씩 한국으로 오세요.
네. 그래요.
어,
예,
우리도 5년에 한
감사합니다.
번씩 미국으로 가고.
맞아요. 네.
오케이.
그래요. 감사합니다.
네, 고마워요. 바이바이.
We went to a Narnia-themed cafe and got ice cream and took some pictures together. It was a fun evening, and we had a great time getting together again after 20 years. In the morning, we attended church in Cheongju since they were having stake conference that week, which is a bigger meeting, and then we had a picnic in a park. We stayed with Sister Jo Kyung-soon's family. She was a friend from my mission, and Doug and I also knew her and her family when we were in Cheonan teaching English. On the way back from Cheongju, Sister Jo suggested that we stop by the Cheonan Museum. This was not here 20 years ago. It shows the history of the area with some cool artifacts and hands-on activities for the kids.
3, 2, 1, go!
In the evening, another mission friend, Sister Lee Jung-ha, came over for dinner with her husband. It was really lovely to see her again. Sister Jo's husband, Bishop Gu, had been teaching himself to play the flute, so he treated us to a few songs. I asked if they happened to have a violin, and it turned out they did. It wasn't a full-size violin, but Doug was able to play it anyway, and we had an impromptu musical evening. That was a lot of fun. In In 1997, when we left Cheonan, it had a population of about 350,000 people. Since then, the size has almost doubled. There are large sections of town that are completely new, including the area where Sister Jo lives. We went to see this big circular pedestrian overpass nearby. After that, we walked up the hill behind the apartment to see a little park with some prehistoric pit dwellings from the Bronze Age.
What are you doing, Andy?
더 뒤에 고조선이 있었어요. 고조선. 그리고 더 뒤에 있었어요. 사람 살았어요.
앤디 뭐 하는지 몰라요.
Hey, Andy, let's go.
So Sister Jo Kyung-soon graciously offered to drive us around and find our old neighborhood where we used to live. And Doug found there was this convention center that was built while we were here. So Doug found that on the map. And then we came to that and they were kind of driving around and like recognizing things like, oh, I remember this gas station. And then like go over one word, I was like, oh, there it is. But things have changed so much that we weren't even sure if the building was still going to be here. So this is a lot of fun. So we lived in, put it up a little bit. We lived in that building right there on the second floor in the corner window for 9 months. It is the Mira Hompistel, which is a combination of home, office, hotel. They say Hompistel. And it was a small one-room apartment with this teeny tiny kitchen that you literally could not have two people stand next to each other in at the same time. And our refrigerator was not in the kitchen, but it was right next to our bed. And the door opened the other way, so you couldn't like reach into the refrigerator while you were in bed, which I always thought was slightly inconvenient. But it was an okay spot. Yeah, so we are pleased to have found it. I remember, 와, 있구나. 옛날에 여기 살았고, 와.
Who does not exist. How many times did they fix the doorknob?
They had to replace the doorknob like twice, or at least once. No, we had to get the faucet replaced twice, and the doorknob replaced at least once. Oh yeah, okay, they replaced it once, but it was going bad again when we left. Yeah. So they probably had to replace it again before the new people moved in. Wow, blast from the past.
For you.
Right, not so interesting for you, huh? Nope. We lived in Sangyongdong, near the little mountain called Bongso-san. There's a major road now that cuts right through where part of the mountain used to be. On the other side of the road is Sangyong Park, which seems like a nice addition to the city. The kids enjoyed running around for a while. We got some lunch, and then it was time to pack up our luggage and head back up to Seoul. We took the metro, which took almost 2 hours. It would have been faster to take a train or bus, but we wanted to do this for the novelty factor. 20 years ago, the metro didn't go all the way down to Cheonan. We got to see quite a lot of the country on our road trip, and it was a special treat to finish it up in the place where we made some great memories together early in our marriage, and to reconnect with some old friends.
가려야 돼. 가려야 돼.
판 가려.
Alright, let's get close.
이렇게.
Okay. 사실은 뭐 비디오를 찍는 거야.
watching.